Hey everyone, it's Tina from Frugal, Fun, and Fabulous, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about something that's really, really important, and it's also happens to be one of my goals for 2018, and that is getting out of debt. Okay, so debt is something that a lot of us have. Obviously, it's part of our, kind of part of the way we have our financial system set up here, especially in the United States. Okay, a lot of us have credit card debt, college loans, things like that. One of my major goals for this year is to pay off all of my debt, and that is because I want to buy a house, hopefully in the next year, so 2019, something like that. So I've given myself this year to kind of take care of everything that's been outstanding and pay everything off. So the reason I'm here to talk to you guys today is that I was contacted by a company called National Debt Relief. I'll have all their information down in the description bar down below. This is a sponsored video, I do want to tell you that, but I also want to mention that I did look up this company and they're very legit. You can Google them, you can look at all of their reviews on Better Business Bureau, and did a lot of research on this before I came and talked to you guys about it because I wanted to make sure this was actually a very reputable company, and everything I could find on them is absolutely amazing. All of their reviews look fantastic, all of that stuff. So let's kind of talk about what National Debt Relief does. Basically, it's a debt, trying to think of the word for it. It's kind of like a service that helps you consolidate and pay off of your debts. They negotiate unsecured debts. So these are things like credit cards, medical bills, things like that kind of are, that are not secured by, like, say, like a car payment would be secured because it's secured by the vehicle, okay? Or your mortgage would be a secured debt because it's secured by the property. What these guys do is they negotiate down all of your unsecured debt for you, and hopefully, in most cases, can negotiate a really good rate for you or a better rate and get that amount owed down for you, and then work with you to create a payment plan to pay it off. This is something that if you're in over your head with debt, if there's something that this year you've kind of been thinking about, I really want to get rid of this debt. If your credit's being affected negatively by it anyway, I would highly suggest looking into this company. I know some friends that have used similar services in the past and have been very successful in eliminating a large majority of their debt and getting back on the right track financially. Okay? So there's a couple of talking points I want to talk about here with National Debt Relief, and that is basically, typically folks will end up debt-free in about 24 to 48 months. So if you start this program now, depending on the kind of debt and the amount of debt and all these different other factors that they're going to take into consideration. But usually, you can imagine yourself being debt-free in the next 2 to 4 years, which for some of you guys, especially if you're carrying this like really heavy burden of debt and you feel like you're never ever going to be able to get out of it, today might be the day that you want to start, especially starting a new year. It's January. Some of you guys I know, for sure, and I've definitely had friends in this situation as well that have been kind of like putting it off, like paying the minimums on their payments or not making payments, things like that, and really been putting off kind of working out their financial, their financial goals, okay? So if it's something that you want to start today, you could, typically see yourself being out of debt in that amount of time, okay? Typically, you end up paying significantly less than your current debt. So like I mentioned, these guys will work with your creditors to negotiate down the amount of debt that you owe in most circumstances, okay? There's absolutely zero upfront fees, so you don't pay them anything off the bat, okay? Again, like I mentioned, they only do work with unsecured debt, so like credit cards, personal loans, medical bills, student loans, things like that, private student loans, by the way. You need to have more than $10,000 in debt to work with this company. That's the value that that's the cap they kind of place on the amount of debt that they'll work with. So if your debt is less than $10,000, it may not be the right company for you, but if you're in debt more than $10,000, then you can talk to this company about working these kinds of negotiations out, okay? So again, like I mentioned, it's something that, luckily I've been in a position, especially in the last 6 months, where I've picked up, I work 2 jobs. So I work my day job, which, as you can see, I'm at right now filming on my lunch break. And then I have, obviously, my other channel and my tarot reading business that I've been doing since about May. So that's been really helping me kind of pay down my debt and save, obviously, for my house. But if I were in a position where I either could not, do both jobs, or were unable to make ends meet, with working both jobs, then I know for sure, this would be something that I would consider. Credit card debt especially is really tough, because a lot of the times the interest rates are really high and your minimum payments don't even make a dent in, what you're trying to pay off. So if you have a card that has $10,000 charged to it and your interest rate is 22%, your minimum payment might be a couple $100 a month, but it's going to take you years and years and years to pay that off. If you use National Debt Relief, and they're able to assist you with this kind of stuff, they can get that paid off for you much higher or much faster, and typically negotiate a much better, they can negotiate down the amount of debt that you owe, if that makes sense. So yeah, guys, I hope you do check out National Debt Relief if you're in that position, especially if you're in a time right now where you're kind of like planning your goals, or you've been putting off like working out your finances, things like that. I mean, now obviously is the time. The sooner you start, the sooner it's going to be taken care of. So hopefully, if you guys are in need of that service, you will check it out. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. If you're new to my channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. Again, if you want to check out National Debt Relief, everything will be linked down below, all the information that you need. I would love to hear some success stories from you guys if you do end up using this service. Hopefully it can help some of you, figure everything out and get back on track financially, and get to a place where you're feeling, strong again and feeling good about yourself, and you kind of lifting that burden of debt off your shoulders. All right, guys, well, take good care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.